Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Special guest today is Ira Harge, the new athletic director at Espanola High School. And before we start, congratulations on your great run at more. Excuse me, I messed up there, man. I mean, I got my mindset off there a little bit. But congratulations on your state championships.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And thanks for having me, Steve. Great to be here.
Well, I'll tell you what, a little excitement in the air. Kind of speak on that, and that's why I think, if I'm correct, if I'm not speaking out of context, that we are basically going back to school.
We absolutely are. In Espanola, we just had our plan approved by the PED. And so we're going to begin with the high school on February 22nd. We're going the hybrid mode. And of course, that's exciting for me because that means athletics is right around the corner. We do have to do you want to call it the 2-week period to make sure there's not an outbreak in COVID, and then we can start competing. We can actually start practicing though on the 22nd. So we're really excited that school's starting, and we'll phase in everything else later. And we hope that we can get everything else in, but right now we're starting with the high school.
I'll tell you, that's a big ordeal too, right? I mean, you got 4 cases in 2 weeks, and am I correct on that for the school to start?
Right. If you get 4 cases in 2 weeks, it's the rapid response. You fall under those guidelines, and I'm not 100% sure, but basically you go on a watch list. The school shuts down, and we go back to quarantining, remote learning. And so it could be a big deal, but the coaches are excited, the kids are excited, so we're making sure that they stay safe. Stay at home, don't go out, don't congregate. We're pushing that, and so hopefully they'll do that so we don't have an outbreak.
Well, I tell you that the other side of that too is that the kids, if they want to play sports, they want to go to school. I mean, and school's kind of the carrot. I mean, sports is kind of the carrot on this, but that you don't have to preach a lot. I mean, they really know that the governor and is very, very strict on our rules on that part, and if you don't comply, then you don't play. It's pretty simple.
Right. And as a matter of fact, right after we made the announcement, we had a coaches meeting, and I stressed highly to the coaches, hey, the kids have to comply, and the kids are excited, so I believe they will, and they're good kids up there, and we're just asking them to sacrifice, however long their season is. Hey, just stay home, just wear your mask, social distance, sanitize, wash your hands, the whole gamut of things you need to do to stay healthy, because we all want to see you on the court or the field. So that and I believe the kids will do that. So.
And I believe when we talked to you last week, that the school district has taken the precaution. You've got your ventilation systems. They were proactive and to make this an easy transition to make this happen. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Great guy, Fred Trujillo is our superintendent. And I mean, ever since this summer, he has pushed to comply with all the PED, the toolkit, and all the things that are in that toolkit that we have to do in order to go hybrid, which includes filtration systems, sanitization stations. We have wipes everywhere. We have hand sanitizer everywhere. We have the chemicals to spray. We have the electrostatic machines. I mean, we were really prepared for this. The only thing we were lacking when to go hybrid was the completion of our plan, which had to be approved, which only took a couple of days. We just had to finalize a couple of things, and the inspections, that was the big thing. So a fire marshal has to come in and inspect your school once you're ready, and we passed the inspection on Friday, I believe, and we're ready to go.
So February 22nd. I mean, everybody's excited. I mean, is there a kind of a buzz and excitement from everybody right now? I know you're excited. And when I talked to you last week, you said, "Yeah, we're ready to go." And there's been a lot of issues, statewide of some of the things that you just mentioned that some of the schools are not ready to be able to provide for the students.
Yeah, we're very excited. The kids are, and I got to tell you, at first it was, hey, we're going to re-enter on the 22nd. The board approved it, and everybody kind of sat back and said, oh, okay. It was that hesitation, like, are you sure we're going to? Please, maybe. And then now that we got the plan approved, not only by the board or the Espanola School Board, but also by PED, we are really excited. We know it's going to happen now. That's where we're at. First we were cautiously optimistic, and now we're full-fledged. We're ready to go.
Well, and that's so true in basically the whole last year, because of everything's been day to day. There's been you think something's going to happen, and then it's taken away. And now this thing is 1 week away, and you can just talking to you, you got that great smile anyway. But you can tell that and you and I have talked about this. It's so important for these kids. I mean, to be able to play some level of sports this year.
Absolutely. I mean, just for the social, emotional, psychological, their well-being. Some people, and it's not everybody, but some kids go to school, and school's like the after effect because they want to play sports. And there's a lot of that. I mean, we have 170 some odd athletes, and they are, they've been waiting for this moment all year, and poor spring sports. I mean, baseball, softball, track, they started and they had 1 or 2 games or a couple of tournaments, and it was taken from them. It was done. And so to get to this moment, to get to where we are right now is so exciting. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. We are very, very excited to be at this point, especially we're still kind of under this COVID umbrella, but we'll do everything it takes to make this work, and so can't wait.
Tell you what, we're gonna go to the Dream Style Top 10 Plays of the Week, and then come back and talk more about Espanola Valley High School.
Rise and fire. He's fouled.
He used to coach for Del Norte. And
here's Voss all the way with the finish. He'll get the behind the back of the dribble. Trying to go up with the right hand. He changed hands in midair and hot it, sent it away. Wynn doing a really good job denying Chavez. DC hasn't got the ball. Oh, Yeku! Oh! Working against Watson. Oh, look at the spin move.
loose. DJ Bustos brings it up. Barnes Tompkins, alley-oop. How about it? That was redunculous.
Turnover. Cable to the big fella might try to jam one home.
Hey, welcome back to the Steve Davis Show. We got Ira Harge, and it came back to me. Haika's three state champions in a row, and it threw me off in that first segment. I got a green screen behind me. I've got you wearing red, and you just got me confused. But again, congratulations, and I want to really kind of hit on the. You took a career move. I mean, I know you're well loved across the state for coaching, but I know it had to be a difficult situation for you to make that decision. But you did, and kind of let people why now? Why because everybody was waiting for that four-peat, and they were building that new stadium named Ira Harge Jr. So.
We, you know what, going 4 back-to-back was wonderful, and I will miss Pecos dearly. I love my wife is, I laugh, she's from there, and she's related by blood or by marriage to everybody there is what I tease her about. And it was a great run. It really was. I had been trying to get into administration for a long time. And, I stepped out of the classroom for 3 years actually. And I was still coaching, and the opportunity presented itself. Superintendent left and asked me would I be interested in getting into administration. And I told him yes, because it was something I had been wanting to do. I wanted to get in. Actually, I thought I was going to do it at the collegiate level, but that hadn't happened yet. And there was, and it's a blessing. I mean, because I needed to most definitely get my feet wet and understand what it was like to be an athletic director. And I got to say this, I'm not looking at college anymore. I mean, I'm enjoying the high school level. I'm enjoying the secondary level for right now. And I'm just, I'm happy where I'm at. And it's been a great change. And it's been, COVID has been horrible, but it's also allowed me time to get my system into place at Espanola Valley High School. And it'll be tested here very shortly. We'll see how many systems I have in place and how well they're going to work. But it's been great being in administration and understanding and helping guide. And my famous thing now is I'm out of coaching, but I'm coaching coaches now. And so I'm excited about that new opportunity, and it's been fun. It's been really fun.
Well, one thing nice about the COVID, if there is a nice thing for you, is that nobody's been in this situation before, so everybody has a really it's just thrown into the water or thrown into the fire with it, and it gives everybody a chance to really think outside the box, because nobody's really, there's no set of rules. All right, what's going to happen, and it's kind of probably been a good thing for you to break in as an athletic director with this issue.
It has been. I mean, like I said, it's COVID's horrible, but it has given me the opportunity to, instead of jumping into the fire or into the frying pan, I can I've been able to learn and take my time and figure out, you know, budgeting and finances and scheduling. I have to laugh. I'm really good at scheduling right now because we've had to change it quite a few times as we've gone along. So,
well, we're right there with you. Okay, I mean we've scheduled a few games that didn't happen and got people excited, and you know we kind of go through what you go through on your side of being an athletic director.
absolutely, because you're broadcasting the games, and so we're all, you know, scheduling, and then all of a sudden, no, we can't do it. Yes, we can. No, we can't. And it's been back and forth, and and that's nobody's fault. It's been whatever's happening with COVID and the numbers and all of that falls under that. And so it has been crazy with scheduling, but everything else, I mean, budget, like I said, the finance piece, the putting in the fundraising, getting in, you know, systems in case this happens. I mean, everything's a contingency plan. And I'd like to quote Sally Marcus. She said, you know, we have plan A to Z, and we do too. I mean, if we have fans, for example, we know what we're going to do. If we don't have fans, we know what we're going to do. I mean, that's just an example, but we have plan A through Z ready to go in case of whatever happens, we think.
Well, you know, I think that's a very great statement right there. Is what you're saying. It's day by day, even though it's positive going forward. Speaking of scheduling, how's your district work? You know, is your district all going to be in? Do you have any? And then right now, are you in wait mode to see what MMA is if there's not enough people in a district to play?
Actually, both. Our district, for right now, I know for sure that Los Alamos is in, Taos is in. They're pending the approval of their plans, but they're in. Espanola's in. Moriarty's been in. They started back on February 8th. And so those four are in. Milwaukee, we're not sure at this moment. I believe their board meeting is this week. And so after that board meeting, we'll know if Milwaukee's in. But everybody's in our district. And so as it relates to the NMAA, we have not gotten the go-ahead to adjust our schedules yet. And so once we get that, we will. But we are all kind of waiting for everybody to formalize their plans. And then once they formalize and get them approved. And so we're right on the cusp. So schedules should be coming out by the end of this week, especially since we're looking, well, beginning of this, end of this week, beginning of next week is what we're hoping, so that we can get that going and everybody will know, including you, so you know what games are going to broadcast. And so we are soon, end of the week.
Well, I tell you, you know, it's been an ordeal for everybody, but it was it's so exciting to hear from you last week. I just wanted to call to see what was going up north. I know that, you know, there's a lot of questions still here at APS, and also, you know, other schools in the state, Las Lunas, and I do believe Las Lunas and Valencia are going to have a revote, or they're having a reconsideration, and maybe that'll happen. But it's going to be an interesting year. If some schools can play and some can't, and I know that's something that neither one of you or I can control, but it's really a hot topic right now in the state of New Mexico.
Wouldn't it be interesting if APS, Las Cruces, although I think Las Cruces got theirs approved, but just go with me for a minute. You know, if they didn't get in for fall and winter sports, that'd be unprecedented. I think there's enough of us in right now who have been approved, whose school boards have approved plans and that kind of thing, that you know, it would happen. But that would be very interesting. And I'm not saying that's happening. It'd just be very interesting if that transpired, where the largest school district in the state didn't get in or didn't get in for fall and winter sports, or, you know, it would be, man, that would be very, very different. I mean, I hope and pray that they do get in, and it's more for the kids' sake than anything else. So it'd be extremely, but man, that would be definitely a challenge.
I tell you, let's go to a break and let's come back more and talk about your plans for the next couple of months.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the Frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Hey, welcome back to the Steve Davis Show. We got Ira Harge, looking good in red. Okay, I know that green has been part of your whole 8 years of your life, maybe even 10 years of your life. But I tell you, red is. I'm still not used to it. I'm just, you know, it's kind of like you and Jim Holzman wearing that green, you know. So it's, but you have to move on, and so, you know, you kind of hit a little bit on your plans on, you know, how to get started, and if you would kind of talk a little bit more in detail about how to keep this thing positive and keep it going for the next 2 or 3 months.
Absolutely. We, you know, again, we start February 22nd. We're able to practice, and we're going to start with fall sports. So that's football, cross country, and volleyball. Those sports will begin and get those athletes in there, and then the shortened seasons will happen, and then we'll transition into winter sports, which will begin March 22nd, and then we'll transition into the spring sports, which is April 5th. And so we're as long as we don't have an outbreak, you know, that shuts us down for a couple of weeks, we should be good. And so, like I said, I think we're all willing to do what it takes to do that.
You talked about all your plans A to Z, and give me a scenario on what if something you're in the middle of the season and you have an outbreak and you're out for 2 weeks. What happens there for those 2 weeks of games or practices, or how do you pick up the losses of those games?
My understanding is the games just pass. I don't know if they're forfeited or not. That I'm still unclear about. But I do know that you know, once you hit that, if you have an outbreak, you sit for 2 weeks. There's nothing that's going to happen in your gym and your facility. It's just done and then you'll come back and have to just pick up where you left off. You know, the challenge is, what if that happened right during state? That would be tough. So, but it would be a reality, and it could happen.
Well, I guess the bottom line is you're playing. Okay, so that's the positive side of it, and then I guess the other thing is you just deal with that if that does happen. So I mean, in knowing it's a reality that it can happen. Right,
and everybody has to be accepting of that. You know, nothing is ideal this year. Nothing. It's not perfect. It's not, and we're going to just go with the flow and obviously it's our new normal for the moment. I know people are tired of hearing that, but it really is. It's our new normal, and we have to adjust. And we're hoping that the vaccine kicks in soon. And once that vaccine kicks in, we're hoping to be back to a normal kind of year next year.
Well, I think that's what, really, for everybody to get a vaccine is probably going to be right before August or a little after August next year, which is, again, exciting to know that there is a solution to this virus, and that it's going to really take a lot of pressure off of the things that happened last year.
Right. Absolutely. And so just, again, we just kind of continue to move forward and keep pressing and be safe and wear your mask and social distance. I know people are, it's tired. People are really tired of hearing that, but we have to do that if we really want to play our sports.
Well, talking of, sports, and, we talked a little bit about, the issues, and evidently you have, your bus systems and for all your districts and all that is all been worked out, and they're ready to move forward too, and cafeteria workers and all those little moving parts you just don't really think that happens in schools, that a lot of people don't understand that there's a lot more outside, and janitors to put that, everybody there is all happy and ready, and you have worked those issues out.
We have. The transportation issues have been worked out. The meals have been worked out. We still have our same bus drivers. They'll be back. We have contracted bus drivers to back them up. So we're okay as far as transportation. We're okay as far as meals. Our business office intact so that we can have, get our POs for travel and meals and that kind of thing. And then the other thing that's happening is we're staying within our region. That's the big thing that from the governor's office that they want from sports, to stay within our region. Our region, it has not been defined, but it's Penasco and Cuesta and Taos and us and Milwaukee.
You have more in there too, I'm sure.
Yeah. So we have a bunch, but Santa Fe, would be considered in our region. So we're prepared one way or another to stay local and reduce expenses and thus reducing the virus as well.
So that's your burden on you, is that you got to figure all this out to make sure that you're in available to make all this happen. Is that correct?
Yeah.
You're making executive decisions right now already, huh?
Daily, and it doesn't hurt that I meet with the superintendent every day. That's that meeting that has to transpire. He's meeting with all of us, all his directors, and just to make sure we're crossing T's and dotting I's, and we just have to do these things. And we're doing it for the kids. We want them to play. We want them back in school. So
I tell you, it's great. I truthfully, I want to really say, unbelievable basketball coaching career. What you did and what, I still think back, and I still wanted to thank you. You made my whole day at the state tournament. After the game, you actually wanted to come find me and talk to me, and that's something that, well, I'll cherish for the rest of my life. Was that you had people just following you all the way around, and you walked all the way up to the top, and took a couple, 3 or 4 minutes to talk about us, me and you, talking about your great wins.
Oh, thanks, Stephen. It was wonderful. You have been tremendous for us and for our program, and here, I know in Espanola, but more specifically in Pecos. It was great to get to bring those wins to Pecos, but I give you some credit too, because you gave us that opportunity to broadcast them, and so that helped us even more. And so those people that couldn't get in the gym, at least they could watch it. So I thank you for all you did for us.
Well, Ira, thanks for coming on the Steve Davis Show, and get those school kids back into school and get them playing sports again. I appreciate you and all the things you have done.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.